So here's a crazy case coming out of South Carolina. This guy here, he is the mayor of a town of 2,000 in South Carolina. And he's got a pretty decent haircut there, right? Nice. Grizzled beard. Mayor George Garner II, 49, of McCole, was being pursued by a deputy moments before he died in a head-on vehicle crash. He's kind of got a weird body, doesn't he? Emergency responders took Garner and the driver of the truck to a nearby hospital where the mayor succumbed to his injuries. So that's his vehicle, and he runs into this 18-wheeler, right? Doesn't look like it's got any load, but that's still, what, 2 ton, 1 ton versus 10 tons? I'm not for sure, but does seem like, what is it, about 2, 3, 4 times bigger. This case is weird because here it says the pursuit is not related to any laws being broken. The pursuit was taking place in an effort to protect the well-being of Mr. Garner. Hey, why are you chasing that man? I'm trying to protect him. There is a, God, what was that? It's like a ghost story, right? The guy with the hook that was behind the driver. Was there a man with a hook? Because he was being pursued too, and they kept turning the lights on and off. And then when they got to the house, they ran into the house. It was like, no, I wasn't pursuing you because I was chasing you. There was a guy in the back seat with a hook. 5 days before the crash, Police Chief Bob Hale and his 5 officers resigned from their posts. So all these headlines are saying that he got into a crash just right after the entire police force had resigned. So the entire police force resigned 5 days ago, but none of them said it had anything to do with McCole Mayor George Garner. None of them said it had anything to do with George Garner. R.I.P. to George Garner. I think this is highly suspicious. This makes no damn sense whatsoever. None of it makes any sense. Not only is he being chased for his own protection, but I didn't hear about any man with a hook in the back. And then there was an investigation. So it says that the deputy from a neighboring county was doing it for his own protection. But then there was the state boys, South Carolina Law Enforcement Division, said that he was connected to an active investigation. Well, then that's the opposite of for his own protection now, isn't it? And then why is he in a neighboring county? And was the neighboring county, were they in the neighboring county? Was he in his own county? And was he just trying to get some weed? South Carolina, have they legalized it yet? That's Clyburn, right? Oh yeah, this is the state that gave us Biden. Myrtle Beach. The beach of rapists galore. A lot of raping's happening in Myrtle Beach. So I hear. So that's what people say. This lack of investment hampered our ability. Apparently, the police chief, Bob Hale, said that personal attacks and repeated acts of harassment on his character by a town council member. Well, that's not a mayor. So I had heard that 5 months ago, the last police chief had resigned and that George Garner, was critical of him. But this police chief is not saying that. He's saying that a city councilman was being... And then they're in a difficult situation, so, okay, the town didn't have any police, but the county was going to cover... They cut funding, so that's kind of responsible. They didn't have enough money. Coroner Todd Hardy revealed in a Facebook post that the deputy with the Marlboro County Sheriff's Office was following Garner at the time of the crash. The pursuit was not related to any laws being broken. Garner was driving a Chevrolet Tahoe heading west when he veered over the center line and crashed into a tractor trailer. That doesn't sound like he was being followed for his own protection. He wasn't breaking any laws. I could see two things happening now. I'm thinking maybe he was driving drunk and the guy was just following him as he, goes back home. Hey, I'll just follow you so that way you'll make it back home. But then maybe he had a broken taillight. Maybe he didn't have a license plate. Something like that. I'm doing it for your own protection. But now I'm thinking, if you're being chased by the deputy and you didn't know why the deputy was behind you and he keeps following you and he keeps tailing you, sometimes, you know, I'm pretty chill when I'm driving, but you'll just get a tailgater who just kind of pushes into you and pushes into you, trying to get you to go faster, go faster, go faster. And then you kind of, you know, you do speed up a little bit and then you start, you know, driving back and forth and then you start wavering and then whoops, now you're flipped over 15 times and in a ditch. So whenever they do that, I, you know, flip up my rear view mirror so I don't have to fucking stare at it or feel the fucking thing. And if they get too close, you know, I'll brake a little bit or I'll ease off the gas. Especially if they've had a chance to pass, you know. I can't stand a tailgating motherfucker. An oppressor don't give a shit about you. They just want to get you to obey. Go faster. I'm trying to go to fucking work and I'm 5 minutes late and I'm driving fucking 20,000 miles over the speed limit and I want you to drive 20,000 miles over the speed limit too. Hurry up. I need you to drive faster, faster, faster. Look, you want to change the damn laws, you know, write your congressman. Speed limit around here is 5 miles per hour, so I'm going to maintain my 5 miles per hour while you're driving 15 trillion. The news of his death comes after residents were notified last week that the Marlborough County town would be without a police force after the entire department resigned. Like I said, a lot of weird stuff. A lot of weird stuff is... He recently won an election. Right there he is. Let's see here. I think I highlighted something here. No, I guess I didn't. But the South Carolina Highway Patrol, why is the Highway Patrol? I mean, I know that's the State Department, so it could be anything, but the Highway Patrol? Was he driving without a license? Was he a big cocaine runner? Is this... What's that big cocaine guy? Not Che Guevara, but, Lupe Fiasco? No, it's not Lupe. Who was that? Pablo Escobar. Is that what you're trying to tell me? This guy was the Pablo Escobar? Is he, what's that marijuana runner? Man, I am just not thinking crystal clear. John Robert Boone? See John Robert Boone? Is he a big crack dealer? See the crack king? The king of crack? And then it's weird that people aren't really asking any more tougher questions. Well, our mayor, he was being chased by a deputy and runs into an 18-wheeler. Just 5 days ago, the whole police force had resigned. They blamed it on the city councilman, but we know it had to do with this guy. He cut the funding, so he allowed the city councilman to go on and on and on. And so probably behind the scenes, he was probably okay with it. And they're just, he's impugning my character. It's kind of a weird reason to resign. Oh, he just keeps on, I mean, harassment. Like, what kind of harassment? People murdering his fucking dog, doing drive-by shootings and shit. Like, what kind of harassment? Shooting a bunch of fucking flares and shit, blowing up a truck. You know, what kind of harassment? Every time he goes to build a fence, they're just fucking driving back and forth, pulling a Phil Greeny, Robert Pickerel, tailgating, falling too closely, spotlighting in the middle of the night, doing drive-by shootings. Like, what kind of harassment were these police going through? Mean Facebook post? Well, I tried to ask this guy a question, and then they said I was being mean, and I didn't like it. And then we were only getting paid $20,000 in a town of 2,000. How much? I bet you the town was probably more at peace with the county than with the 5 guys going around, you know. And if it's marijuana, he was just driving to the neighboring county to get his marijuana. What the fuck? Come on, South Carolina. You could do better than you could. Why don't you find out what the fuck is going on? If there's a deputy involved, that means there's public officials. That means somebody knows something. The public officials are keeping mum. The public officials are saying nothing. Cops are allowed to lie. Citizens lie, everybody lies, lie, cheat, steal, right? Just lie, cheat, and steal. What could go wrong if you just keep lying and cheating and stealing? What COVID? We never did the test. Nobody has COVID. Lie, cheat, and steal, right? Rape, maim, torture, harass, abuse. I don't know. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods, thou shalt not bear false witness. You know, there's 10 commandments. I know it's religious, but that's kind of comprehensive and coherent. Now, Jesus did say, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So yeah, I would like to think that if the people had elected the people's champion, and then the people's champion gets killed in a head-on collision, that you think people would speak out about what they think is going on. Yeah, just spit out speculation, because right now it seems like it's a story, but it's a non-story. Well, first the cops all resigned, then he's being chased by a cop, and then he dies. Now you got Mr. Blue. Some guy steps in the mayor's chair. And now he's the mayor tempore. So don't worry. You got new leadership. It's all going to be A-OK, South Carolina. It's going to be A-OK, South Carolina. I'd like to know what happened. George Garner. Somebody fucking say something. I mean, fucking shit. This guy clearly didn't want to die. So give me a reason. Give me a reason. If there's a coroner, what was... Give me a reason. He just swerves over in the middle of the fucking center line for no damn reason. Was he tired? Was he sleeping? Was it suicidal? I think usually the most simplest explanation is, right, Occam's razor. So it was the cops. The cops resigned. He was critical of the last cops. Why was he critical of them? Because, well, they're fucking assholes. They're violent fucking thugs. And then the neighboring county, the state patrol, they talked to their buddies, they talked to their friends. They said, oh, something's up with that mayor, so they started tailing him. They were doing it for his own benefit, says the coroner. Why would the coroner know what the hell the deputy was up to? It was for his own benefit. He probably was going to run out of gas. The guy had some extra gas for him. The cop was just following him too closely to root for him. You could do it. He was buying groceries. You think groceries are going to go down after January 20th? You think gas is going to go down? Oil's going to... You think any of the prices are going to go down with all the fucking tariffs? He fucking pays the oil companies billions of dollars, right? Instead of redistributing those profits back to us or nationalizing oil, now we're just going to subsidize the oil companies so they can make record profits. I bet you gas will be fucking $5 a gallon by next year. What's my point? I don't know. R.I.P. to George Garner II. I hope that we find out why he was killed. Why was he killed? He runs into an 18-wheeler just out of nowhere. That doesn't happen every day. That doesn't... The accidents happen all the time, but not of the mayor, not of a mayor of a town that just had the whole police force resign. That is very, very complicated. It's Mayberry mixed with the Twilight Zone. That's right. Mayberry, goddamn motherfucking nice small town. Was he honey potted? Was he catfished? I don't know. Does it pass the smell test? Has it got something to do with Jesse Waters and his Canada takeover? The Missouri Compromise and the War of 1812? You know what I'm talking about. East and West Canada. War of 1812 got the White House burnt down.